Secrets of Faith, a series based on Bible stories. Episode 2, The Garden of Eden. In the dawn of time, in a place blessed by the hand of God, there existed an Eden, a garden of exquisite beauty and prodigious abundance. In this earthly paradise, God placed the man he had formed with his own hands, Adam, to be the guardian of this land of wonders. Eden was a place of awe, where trees grew profusely, offering delicious fruits and cool shades. Among them stood two trees of special significance, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, silent witnesses to humanity's destiny. A river sprang from the heart of Eden, winding among the trees and watering the land with its crystalline waters. Divided into 4 branches, each carried with it treasures of the earth, gold, fragrances, precious stones, and abundance beyond imagination. God entrusted Adam with the task of tending and cultivating the garden, entrusting him with the responsibility of preserving this marvel of creation. But along with this task, God gave him a sacred command. He could freely enjoy the fruits of Eden, except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Disobedience to this command would entail fatal consequences. And so, amidst the serenity of Eden, a covenant was established between God and man, a test of trust and obedience that would define humanity's destiny forever. When man dwelt alone in the vast world that God had formed, a shadow of loneliness loomed over him. The Almighty, in his infinite wisdom, decided that it was not good for man to be alone. Thus, with a noble purpose in mind, he decided to create a suitable companion for him. With a divine touch, God formed all the animals of the field and all the birds of the sky from the same earth he had created man from. He gathered them before him, like a father presenting his children, and granted man the honor of naming them. Thus, man exercised his dominion over creation, naming each creature according to his will. But among all the creatures that paraded before him, none was a true companion for man. Despite their diversity and beauty, none shared his essence or satisfied his need for companionship and help. Then, in an act of love and grace, God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man. While he slept, the Creator extracted a rib from his body and transformed it into something new, into a companion worthy of him. When the man awoke and beheld the woman whom God had formed from him, his heart was filled with awe and gratitude. He recognized in her a reflection of his own essence, a companion who was truly bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. With joy and reverence, the man acknowledged the sacred union that had been forged between them, a union that transcended family ties and united their destinies in a single purpose, to be companions and helpmates to each other in the journey of life. Naked and unashamed, man and woman found each other in the purity of their creation. In their union, they found satisfaction and fulfillment, giving thanks to the Almighty for the precious gift of companionship and love. But amidst this paradise, a shadow lurked, ready to sow discord and doubt. A serpent, cunning and persuasive, slithered among the trees of the garden, seeking those who would be its prey. With a soft and seductive voice, it addressed the woman, sowing the seed of doubt in her heart.
Is it true that God has forbidden you to eat from all the trees of the garden?
Whispered the serpent, with eyes shining with malice. The woman, feeling the temptation and intrigue in its words, responded cautiously, explaining the only restriction God had imposed upon them. But the serpent, with its venomous tongue, wove a web of deceit and false promises.
You will not die,
whispered the serpent with a sinister smile.
On the contrary, you will know good and evil. You will be like gods.
The woman, seduced by the serpent's words and by the desire for knowledge, approached the forbidden tree and took of its fruit. And without hesitation, she also offered to Adam, who, ensnared by the same temptation, also ate. In an instant, their eyes were opened to a new understanding, but it was not the enlightenment they had hoped for. Instead of divine wisdom, they found knowledge of their own vulnerability and nakedness. Feeling shame for the first time, they sought to cover their nakedness with fig leaves, a feeble barrier against the weight of their guilt. But even as they hid among the trees of Eden, they could not escape the keen ear of God, who walked among them in the cool of the evening breeze. With his voice resonating in the garden, he called to the man and the woman, knowing all that they had done. And so, amidst the freshness of the evening, man and woman faced the divine judgment, aware of their sin and their fall from grace. In the shadows of the Garden of Eden, the voice of God echoed, calling to man with an echo that slipped among the ancient trees.
"Where are you?"
he asked, his tone resonating with a mixture of authority and concern. Trembling with fear, the man emerged from his hiding place among the shadows, his nakedness a stain of shame on his soul.
"I was afraid,"
he admitted.
"because I'm naked."
With a voice that thundered like the thunder on the horizon, God asked,
"Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?"
But the man, blaming others for his own weakness, pointed to the woman by his side.
"She gave me the fruit and I ate,"
he confessed, trying to wash his hands in the river of his own guilt. Then the Lord's eyes turned to the woman, whose tears reflected the betrayal that had befallen them.
"What have you done?"
he asked, and the woman, between sobs, pointed to the serpent, the creature that had woven the web of deceit. Then the serpent shrank under God's furious gaze, condemned for its wickedness.
"You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life."
The Lord sentenced, with an authority that made the earth itself tremble. To the woman, the Lord promised pains in childbirth and an endless struggle for dominance.
"You will always need a man and he will dominate you,"
he announced, his voice filled with a deep sorrow for the sorrows that were to come. To the man, God pronounced his punishment, cursing the earth that had been his home.
"With toil you will eat from it all the days of your life,"
he declared, pointing to the sweat and pain that would mark each step of his existence. But even amidst the condemnation, God showed mercy, covering the nakedness of man and woman with tunics of skin. And so, with a sigh of regret, God expelled man from the Garden of Eden, closing the gates behind him with a deafening crash. But before he could be lost among the fields of the cursed earth, God placed cherubim to the east of the garden, vigilant guardians who would protect the way to the tree of life, ensuring that man could not return and take of its eternal fruit. Thank you for watching Secrets of Faith. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss the next episodes.